Hi guys, this is Konana here, and I hope you guys are ready for this matchup. This is going to be a pretty nice matchup, I think, because these are both very good players. This is actually going to be iloveoov versus Nara, and this is going to be part of the Pro League. And here you see it is SK Telecom 1 versus KTF. This team was pretty much considered the best teams. They were really huge rivals, but as of late they haven't been playing that well. They didn't win last season. They didn't play very well at least last season, both the teams. But here you see Nara and iloveoov, and the game is just about to begin. This is going to be a PvT, and on this map, a few things I'd like to note is iloveoov has beastly macro, and something that Nara has is he's very creative. So I think this should be a very good match. I think iloveoov will have to play it a little bit safer if he wants to win. Here you see iloveoov is spawning at the 11 o'clock position, and Nara, the Protoss, is spawning at the 7 o'clock position. And this game is on Nemesis. And it's mainly known to be a very boring map, as it has an expansion in the back, and it's pretty much a boring matchup. Most people would say a boring map, but I think it's a pretty nice map for some games, especially when you have two very high caliber players. All the matchups by them are usually very enjoyable. Now this is going to be a PvT, so we're probably going to see here that Nara is going to make his pylon at 8, and the supply depot will be made by iloveoov at 8. There will be a little bit different variations in iloveoov's build. He will be making his barracks probably at 11 or 12. This is because he's a very good macro player. He likes to get his macro up really fast, and then he just overwhelms his opponents with pure macro, and some micro, of course. But I think Nara might take advantage of this and try and do a rush. You can see here that iloveoov is going to try and wall in, and this probe is going directly for iloveoov's base, so this could be very risky for iloveoov if he does his standard 12 barracks, 12 refinery, because iloveoov is sending this pretty early scout out to see if iloveoov is here. But you see iloveoov is creating his barracks, and this probe is going to have to get out of here, or he may be trying to block the supply depot that will be built pretty soon, but that won't be built for a while. Now, right now, you can see that Nara is actually trying to pick off this SCV here. iloveoov is going to be able to keep that alive, though. He can just repair it. You can see his refinery is going up a little bit quicker, too. So iloveoov is kind of scared of a rush, it seems, and he did make his barracks a little bit earlier than he usually did, and there goes the wall in, so Zealots won't be able to do too much damage. And I think that I saw Nara making his expansion. There goes the expansion, 14 CC and 14 Nexus, and I'd have to say that Nara with his scout inside iloveoov's base, and iloveoov not even scouting yet, it's pretty safe for Nara to do this, and because he's going to do this, he's going to have a very nice macro advantage. He has to make sure he doesn't get owned by some kind of rush, but that's pretty unlikely at this point because iloveoov has no idea where Nara is and what he's doing. iloveoov might even be preparing for a rush himself, and you can see there by the wall in that he's probably not going to rush pretty soon. He is making his factory, though. One factory going up so far. The second factory has not come up yet. And Nara doing a really good job keeping his scout inside. He's going to get a lot of good scouting and good information here. And something I've noticed is that iloveoov only has 2 SCVs on that gas. This is going to be very detrimental to his tank production later in game. He's not going to be able to get as many tanks because he won't have as much gas. You can see here that iloveoov is not getting his expansion, while Nara is getting his expansion. Nara is going to have a really good economical advantage, and it looks like the probe has been killed. So, yeah, it has been killed. So, we see here that iloveoov is actually going to at the back base, and I'd have to say that he is going to be able to get a good economical advantage. He kind of tricked Nara a little bit there by making 1 factory, and then he's going to get his 14 command center. Nara is a little bit scared of a rush here because he saw only 1 factory. Nara has a really low probe count, but that is because he may not have a few probes here. He's not creating any probes, though, which is... there goes the probe being created. At first he wasn't creating many probes, and he's not getting singularity charge, as you can see, so he may be doing a Reaver drop. What I noticed about iloveoov is he did kind of trick Nara, and he made that expansion after the probe for Nara did leave. And you have to note here that iloveoov still does not know where Nara is. He can probably infer that it's at one of the two expansions directly to the side of him because of that early scout, but that's not always the case. You see, Nara is going to start sending out another probe, and we see the robotics facility coming up right now. He's going to get some reavers probably, most likely, and armory coming up very quickly. I'm not quite sure what iloveoov plans to do with this. He is going to be able to get upgrades, but that's quite an early refinery, and academy going up for scan. So you see those SCVs being maynarded to the other expansion right now. So both of them are pretty equal at this point. No major conflicts yet, and iloveoov is probably going to get a second gas very shortly. Both of them have a very low unit count, and this is one of those maps where doing these fast expansions is actually pretty safe. Fast expanding, it just sets up the game for a macro game, and both the players opted to do a macro game. So both of them are pretty much equal at this point. You see here that Nara, not seeing that expansion that iloveoov was supposed to make in the back of his base, but iloveoov did make it now. Nara just scouting around, making sure there's no other expansions, and there goes some comsat stations. Now you see here that the robotics facility is coming up. Shuttle should be out shortly, and then the reaver. And I'm quite curious about how iloveoov is going to defend against this. He only has a couple of marines. He is getting a starport, and he does not have engineering bay, but I might have missed it. He is going to get his comsat stations very shortly, though, and he is going to be able to scan very quickly. And then at that point, he's going to have to react as soon as possible. He does. I'm not sure if he did scan that robotics facility, but it would be very bad for him if he did not scan that. So looks like the shuttle is gonna unload. The shuttle is gonna take some probes and make another expansion, and at the island. This is a very good move by Nara, as he's gonna be able to get another expansion, and it's not gonna cost him too much to defend it. And the other thing is, iloveoov will probably not find it too early. So you see that the reaver's out, pretty perfect timing there, unloading one probe there. You see here that Nara still hasn't even gotten his second gas yet, so this means he's really trying to get his macro up as soon as possible. He's getting his second gate, and he's getting two zealots with his reaver. So you see that the starport with a control tower is up, so we will be seeing probably some dropships pretty shortly. No units being produced from there yet. Mines being laid, and if Nara has the bad luck to unload his reaver there, he's going to lose that reaver very quickly unless he has great reflexes. And I'm not too sure how good the reaver micro for Nara is. You can see that iloveoov is pretty much completely prepared for this. He has actually a supply depot there, so he can scout some drops. But Nara does avoid this, and it looks like Nara will probably unload his reaver onto a mine, and he does not want to do that. There is one mine right there, and if he lays that mine there, it's going to be very bad. Shuttle going in, got the speed, and the mine is triggered by the... Oh my god! The mine is triggered by the zealot, and the reaver remains untouched. This base is under assault right here. Another dropship coming in here for iloveoov. Lots of SCVs going down, and very good timing here by Nara, unloading that reaver as soon as possible. And one mine does trigger, and that reaver does get attacked. But the reaver is still alive, and it's about to die. But let's see if that scarab can get any SCVs, and tons of SCVs go down. Very nice there by Nara. That was a little bit of a luck move. Sometimes reavers really have really bad AII and their scarabs suck, but that was really good and very nice for Nara. Here comes the drop, and Nara doing a very bad move here. He's moving out as soon as that shuttle gets in. I don't know what iloveoov is doing. He's just shooting the pylons, but he is going to be able to get a couple of probes now. A little bit of a wall placed here, and Nara does not lose too many probes. He does lose a fairly large amount though, and so both of them doing some pretty nice harassment right here. Both of them still have to produce more SCVs and more probes, because they both did lose quite a large amount. And you see the expansion is going up here for Nara. Nara knows he has to put up a few cannons in that base though, because he knows that iloveoov does have his drops, and one drop does go down. One Wraith did. I saw that Wraith a little bit earlier, and Goliaths are out at this point. So you can see here that iloveoov is just trying to play the game a little bit safe right now. He's not going to try and contain at this point. He has a fairly low vulture count, and he's using all his mines to defend against a Reaver attack. I think the main thing that Nara has to do at this point is he's going to have to begin stopping his Reaver production and probably start getting the units that will help him break out of a contain. You can see he's transferring a few probes over here, and at this point Nara is definitely ahead. He killed a lot of SCVs there, and he's got his second expansion plus his main already up, so he has 3 mining bases compared to the 2 mining bases of the Terran iloveoov. However, iloveoov usually has a very dominant macro